Well, welcome to the Monday Money Tip presented by Fully Funded Life. My name is Joe Sengel, and we are fired up on this Monday, the middle of May, almost smack dab in the middle of May.
Yeah.
What is the middle of May? Is it the 16th? Because you add 15 days to it, it's the 31st, and take off 15, it's the 1st. So, yes, we are not smack dab. Tomorrow is. It's the 15th of May.
Day short.
And we're a day short, hopefully not a dollar late. Day late, dollar short. I don't know. We're going to be talking about, that is the voice of my co-host, Megan Hibbert. Are you fired up today?
Apparently we got the giggles today.
Yeah, we've got the giggles today. We had a little snafu. We did the little clapper thing that Hollywood uses.
I
and
feel
then
so
it was
official.
in my way. And I don't know.
I feel like we're big time.
We're just having fun on the podcast. Today, we're continuing a series that we've been in all month.
Yes.
Is this the last component of that series?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, what are we going to talk about?
Yes. So today we are talking about coaching. So all month long, we've been discussing coaching, financial coaching, benefits of it, why it's important, how to select a great coach was last week, which was really great. And so today we're going to talk about the power of ongoing coaching. So you might be thinking, what does that mean? Well, we're going to tell you.
Yeah. And we're excited about it. This coaching thing, a lot of times I veer towards practicality. Here is how you do a budget. Here is how you pay off debt step by step, primarily because it involves two of my favorite things, math and Microsoft Excel. I have come to discover that I might not be in the majority of humans, that most of them, they enjoy the fact that their money would win, but they kind of like talking about things other than that related to money as well.
Yeah.
And coaching is one of those other things, but it's a vitally important part of our financial journey. And so today we're talking about ongoing coaching.
Mm-hmm.
So what does ongoing coaching mean to you? What does that mean to you?
Yeah,
How many times do you have to meet with a coach for it to be ongoing?
I think it's a continual thing. You're not just...
Every day?
Not every day.
Every morning?
Maybe.
For some players it is, for a period of time.
Yeah.
But even in basketball, you don't meet with your coach every day when
Right.
it's not in season.
Right. Yeah. So I think we're going to break that down a little bit, but I think there's different amounts of time that you should meet with different coaches.
So if you've met with a financial coach 2 times, is that ongoing coaching?
No.
Maybe if you just started, right? It starts the ongoing coaching. Yeah. If you've met with a financial coach 100 times, is that ongoing coaching?
That's a lot.
It's definitely ongoing coaching. Maybe too much. So it's somewhere between 2 meetings and 100 meetings is what we would call ongoing coaching.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll put some handlebars on that to where it's more understandable through the podcast.
Yeah.
We try to, now we have discovered in this process, many discovered that you were in competitive cheerleading. Which is serious business.
It is capital B.
We've got some friends who are in this, and I mean, they're gone to big major cities all the time, and it needs to be a budget line item. I can tell you right now.
Oh yeah.
So how long did you participate in that? Was that a year-long thing?
No. So I did it all throughout middle and high school. And I wish, looking back now, I wish I would have kept doing it in college. My mom does too. She's like, we put all this money into it and then you just stop. But I needed a little break.
You would have been cheering on the NC State Wolfpack.
I know. It would have been exciting. I don't know why I didn't do that.
Well, you had priorities.
You make choices and you just look back and you're like.
I've never asked you, did you do good at school? Did you get good grades?
Yeah.
I did not.
Yeah.
And I didn't. I had extracurricular activities, and none of them were involved in organized sports. Okay. So how long did you participate in competitive cheer? We're saying 6-7 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And was there ever a time you tried to do that without a coach?
No.
I
think it would have been, even if you're the only one on the mat, it still would have been terrible without a coach. But you have 15, 20, 25 girls, sometimes
Are all
guys.
these girls, do they advance you? Is there like a little group of 5 that is a unit or a pod and they're all kind of the same age and they've worked together a long time? Or are you always having to incorporate somebody who may be new to it?
Yeah. I think people move, to the area.
You grew up in a large municipal area, Raleigh-Durham area.
Yeah. So people are always
moving.
People are always, coming from maybe like a different gym. Like at one point in time, one of our like competitor gyms closed. And so all of those people came over to our gym, which was like great because you get all this new talent. Also terrible because you're competing now with all these other people. But, so I think it's always ever changing. There were definitely people that throughout that whole time we kind of went together up, but you're always adding and growing and changing. But you need a coach, you need direction, you need
encouragement,
guidance, encouragement, all those things we listed last week of a deal coach.
Yeah, that's good. So I think that's important when we think about coaching because we're talking about financial coaching here. Mm-hmm. But there's so many parallels between all types of coaching that's out there. Mm-hmm. And so, I have financial coaches.
Yeah. How many?
How many?
Or how long have
you
had them?
It's interesting. When I categorize my coaches, I put them in different categories. So I have what I call subject matter experts. Mm-hmm. So I have an insurance agent, but it's really an insurance coach. That person helps us with my personal policies. An umbrella liability policy. And then I have another insurance agent that takes care of our commercial and business side of insurance. That's another type of insurance coach. I have a CPA. My CPA has become just an integral, vital part of our our infrastructure. Mm-hmm. And his name is Rudolph, which I think is excellent. And everybody knows him as Rudy.
Yep.
And Rudy he's got to have a block on his phone from me or Matt, our financial officer, calling him because we bother him so much. But because he is naturally entrepreneurial and he has attracted a lot of entrepreneurs that he does taxes for, and he has a passion for helping entrepreneurs advance in their finances, and taxes and balance sheets and P&Ls and all that stuff is something he eats, sleeps, and breathes. Yeah. And knowledge of tax law has become a vital component of it. And I am confident there's at least 20 times a year that a conversation takes place with our CPA.
Yeah.
And vital information.
Yeah. There's always a meeting, I feel like, on the calendar.
And then I have coaches that look at the big picture.
Yeah.
And I've got two that I can pick up the phone right now. And if they can't talk to me, they will call me back same day and we can go sit down and I can ask them questions. They know where I'm at financially. They know what we're dealing with. And functionally, I also have a peer, and that it's a benefit and a blessing that I have an identical twin.
Yeah.
And me and my identical twin talk nonstop. We drive each other crazy because we have shared passions. Amazingly, we're pretty identical. And he also has a passion for personal finance. And so we're constantly talking about this stuff, and he knows where I'm at and I know where he's at.
Yeah.
And we can share stuff and know that that's not going anywhere. But if he picks up a piece of knowledge, shares that, I pick up a piece of knowledge, that's been a great blessing. So, I've had coaching. Well, I remember the first time I really opened up my life to coaching. It happened as I was getting my finances in order in 2008. And this is another category of coaches, and that is coaches at a distance, people that write and speak on this topic, that it's their passion to teach it. So Dave Ramsey, Robert Kiyosaki, David Bach, Mary Hunt, Larry Burkett has written several books that have been very influential. Just from their reading of their books, they've mentored me from a distance. And so I hope that answers the question, but I am constantly consuming content. There are several bloggers that I have followed for more than a dozen years.
Yeah.
And I read their blogs pretty much every morning.
Yeah.
And so I've had money coaches for a solid 15 years in my life.
Yeah. It's awesome. Yep. So we have a couple other questions regarding coaching and money coaches. And so the first one is, how often should I meet with my financial coaches?
Well, I would love to hear your thoughts on this as well, but for me, when it's content experts, I want to talk to my coaches when there's something that has changed the game, whether it's something I didn't know and it's a new law change or something that they're aware of and they want to reach out to me. I want them to make sure they reach out to me. And also, if my circumstances change, I want them to be available. So it's not a standing meeting.
Yeah.
So if I'm getting a new car and selling one, well, that's going to be a time to talk to my insurance agent and say, I need to switch this. Hey, by the way, while we're at it, let's talk about everything we have.
Right.
Okay. But when it comes to my regular financial coaches that look at the big picture, it's a conversation that takes place once or twice a year. In fact, recently I sat down with one of those coaches, and it was the first time we had sat down in 2 years.
Oh, wow.
And we had kept in touch, but I had not been able to talk whole picture. We had a great sit down. I got to hear some of the updates in his life, things that he's done that, you know, he's a little ahead of me in his journey.
Yeah.
And, you know, that I learned from that. But then I was able to share where I'm at, and he made some connections. And I think the ability to work together on some deals may be in the offing.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
That is exciting.
So,
yeah,
I would just say meeting with a coach, it depends on the type, and you'll know when the time is right to meet.
Yeah, and I think specifically when you're just starting out, and maybe your church offers financial coaching, and you're trying to take that first step, or you just joined Fully Funded Life and you're interested in coaching. I think that you're trying to get your budget in order, you're trying to save, you're trying to do some of these big pillar items. I think it is more, fully with FFL, you can meet with a coach as often as you want, and I think when you're trying to get your finances in order, it's a lot more. You're trying to, hey, here's my budget for this month. Let's look over it. Okay. Month 1, totally forgot this whole thing. Must build that in. There's components like that.
Yeah.
That regularly, monthly is good. But to meet with, you're talking about retirement, you don't need to meet with them every month,
No.
It's a long-term, long play.
And I think you're really speaking to something that's really important. When you are trying to implement a new behavior, hey, the meetings will be fast and furious and often frequent.
Yeah.
But at some point in time, the journey begins. As we say,
Right.
Money is not just a moment, it's a journey.
Yeah.
And if you're saying, I need to learn how to budget, well, you need a budget coach. And I would recommend you meet with them once a month for 3 months minimum.
Yeah.
That's what we recommend for all our Fully Funded Life members that we're coaching. Because the first month, you're going to forget stuff, as you just said. The second month, okay, I'm lifting up my head. I'm starting to notice things a little different. The third month, okay. And then it's going to be, hey, maybe I need to do check-ins every 6 months or so.
Yeah.
It's just check-ins. Same thing with retirement. I mean, you could check in every 3, 4, 5 years when you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s. I mean, why would you be meeting more frequently? But you start getting in that window, that 10-year window, that 5-year window, it may make sense to have an annual meeting to say, hey, we're you think about it this way. Let's think. I like airplanes. If you follow me on Instagram at Joe Sango, you'll see lots of pictures of airplanes. I'll even tell you what type of airplane it is. This weekend, I flew on a ERJ 175 twice, and I flew on a Boeing 737-800 twice.
Sure.
And it was awesome. When the pilot is taking off, when you first take off, there's all this intricate stuff that's happening. They're torching it down the runway. Do you know what the average amount of time? I time every takeoff from the time we start moving to the time wheels are off the ground. And then I time every flight, wheels up to wheel down. So I know how much time I was in the air. Okay. I time it all. I'm a nerd. I have it for hundreds and hundreds of flights that I've been on. Do you know the average amount of time it takes a flight to take off the ground?
30 seconds.
33 seconds
That's
is
pretty
the
close.
average. Now, if you're in a big, heavy airplane or they got a big, long runway and they just want to take their time, maybe 41 seconds. But you start getting to 45 seconds, you need to be alarmed because you're getting ready to go in the field nearby. Okay? But here's what I know. It's right at the start that the pilot's got a lot of duties, but then they click it into autopilot. It's gone. And then it's the last couple seconds, right, of the flight. So that's the same thing. As you're in the middle of the flight, hey, autopilot. You've got good decisions, good controls, good instrumentation. Man, I'm liking this analogy. Let's go flying. But all of a sudden, hey, we're coming in. We're coming into retirement. We're coming in to buy that house. We're coming into, hey, it's time for us to invest in a piece of rental property.
Yeah.
This is when I need to descend and come in here and pay closer attention.
That's
Make
good.
sense?
Yeah.
Good.
All right. How long should I keep the same financial coach? Is there ever a time I should change financial coaches?
What would you say to that?
I mean, I think with certain areas, it's definitely good to keep the same financial coach. Like, I think like a big picture, they're seeing everything. They know all your history. They know where you want to go. They know your plans, hopes, and dreams.
Yeah.
But like insurance, hey, if someone else is offering me a better deal, sorry.
Yeah.
Like
you're my friend. We're breaking up.
Until you're not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm switching somewhere else, you know?
Ben Franklin.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and so I feel like something like that, it doesn't make sense just to stay, oh, well, they're my insurance, so I just got to stay with them. Okay, well, someone else is offering you a better quote.
Yeah.
And you're going to save
Especially when
money.
you have very standard insurance.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, this is a commodity.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know every insurance agent. Go ahead and just pile on. You can comment on YouTube about how wrong we are, but you know, not all insurance is created equally. I understand that. We're not talking about getting quotes on terrible insurance.
Right.
Okay. Same thing with investing, you know. We would say for these content experts, probably at least annually. Definitely meet with your insurance agent every 2 years and get new quotes. Mm-hmm. Investing annually, look at it. Budgeting constantly in the beginning, then occasional. If you're talking about saving, I would say that's occasional. Mm-hmm. Hey, where are better rates? What's going on with rates? But if that's stable, there's really no need to meet. Mm-hmm. Taxes, well, we would say annually, preferably before tax due date of April 15th or whatever day they choose, which was the 18th this year. Kind of weird.
Yeah.
Okay. So big picture coaches, how often should you meet with them? You know, retirement planning, we say once a decade until a decade away, and then every couple of years. And as you get in the last couple of years, every year. College planning, you know, well, once the child's born, get it set up. If you want to help with college, set a 529 up or a covered L. We prefer the 529. And then every couple of years. Lifestyle planning, hey, maybe it's the planning meeting and then every 5 years or so.
Yeah.
Okay? Because you and Jordan are going to buy a beach house. And you're going to let the single family stay there. You're going to let us stay there for several portraits of Ben Franklin. And I'm going to gladly pay. And then maybe you can come stay at ours.
Yeah.
See, now the fact is you do not own one right now. Neither does a single family. But we're acting as if it is. We're speaking it in the atmosphere.
Speaking it into existence.
Do you see it? It's going to happen. Hey, watch here on the podcast. It's going to happen. Is that a deal? We're both going to do that. That's going to be awesome. So is yours going to be in North Carolina or South Carolina or Florida?
Oh.
If you're speaking it. Hey, if you're on YouTube, where is your beach house going to be at?
I don't know.
It's not in Arizona, hopefully. You know.
I don't know. I mean, initially I probably would say South Carolina just because that's where we live now. But I also love North Carolina. But Florida, you can be on the beach for a lot longer amount of time than you can in North and South Carolina.
But they have more likely to have these spinny things show up.
But their water is also clear.
Unbelievable.
If you're in certain parts.
Yeah. White sand beaches in Panama City, Destin, woo! Yeah. Atlantic side, Gulf Coast side. Hey, it's all good. You know, I'm going to say mine's South Carolina. Okay. That way I can access it more frequently.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, I recently had a person share his top vacation spots in the world.
Oh.
And in the world, this guy's traveled 120 countries. He's all the stuff I was listening to his podcast. And did you know, he said all of the Outer Banks of North Carolina was his number 2 place in the world.
I don't know if I believe that.
He said it was. Okay. So anyhow, where's your favorite place? You can comment on that on YouTube if you're watching there. But here's the final question that I just want to share. I didn't really answer your question, really. How long should you keep the same financial coach? Were you thinking that?
I was thinking that.
You should just tell me that. I just realized that. So here's what I would say. As long as they're adding valuable help to you and advancing, and they're continuing to live it in their own life, that's how often you should meet with them.
Yeah.
I like coaches that are older than me, but I've discovered something. Maybe if the Lord allows it, there might be a day where I'm so old that my coaches are going to be younger than me.
It's true.
I'm so old. That's what we pray for, is to get old. And so that's what I would say. As long as they're adding value to you, that's how long you should meet with them.
You're right.
The longer the better. As they say, you can't have new old friends. You can't have new old coaches either.
That's true. All right. What has been the biggest benefit of coaching in your money journey?
I think the biggest benefit for me is the realization that what I'm dreaming of is possible because the coach that is helping me has done it.
Yeah.
And I've said this before in different settings. I don't know if I've said it on the podcast, but the very decisions that cause my knees to shake they yawn while doing that same decision.
Yeah.
And the difference is the experience that they have with the same decision. Why would we not want to benefit from that?
Yeah.
And so what I would encourage each of our listeners to do, we went through the series about coaching. Get a coach. Start with a coach and then build a team around you because you're going somewhere. I mean, you're not listening to this podcast to stay stuck. I promise you that. So get coaches. If you don't know where to get started, hey, we got some content experts on budgeting, on debt, on beginning investing as part of Fully Funded Life. That is a great place to start. You can check it out at fullyfunded.life. Any last words you'd like to share today?
Yeah, I think when I was thinking of it, the benefit I think for me has been the knowledge. So the knowledge that they have that they're able to share. But then I think it's the things that I don't know that they're willing to share, but also like you're saying, the confidence they have in the knowledge. They've done it. They've had the experience. They're able to speak at it and to it from a different point of view than somebody who hasn't experienced it or lived it. So
yeah, I think
great.
a lot of people think a coach is going to judge them or slap them.
No.
If your coach slaps you, yeah, they're fired.
Maybe
and
need a new
file a
coach.
report.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, hey, thank you so much for joining us for this series. If you haven't watched the previous couple episodes, I encourage you to do that right now. And if you've never had financial wisdom in your life, Fully Funded Life is a great place to check it out. Check it out at fullyfunded.life. Have a great week, everybody.